We got Gene Ryland here. Gene Ryland is a credit expert. Y lo voy a hablar en inglés y en español también. Dale un chancecito ahí para que le entre. Gene is going to talk to us about credit, and he's going to show us how, when you utilize your credit correctly, te da la oportunidad para acceder mucha plata. Y tienes no quiero decirle hack, pero es una estrategia donde uno puede ir a diferentes bancos y agarrar hasta $50,000 para que el banco te dé esa plata sin interés por entre 12 a 18 meses, donde uno no tiene que pagar interés, pero siempre cuando es menos de $50,000. Ahora, tiene que ser a nombre de un LLC o una corporación, y todo esto está basado on your credit. When you have good personal credit, good credit scores, good utilization, not maxing out on a lot of stuff, he's going to show you exactly what to do on how to access this money so that you can utilize it in the manner that you see fit. Just remember, have a plan. Is that right, Gene?
That's right.
Gene Ryland, credit expert. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys today. I think that a lot of us know that credit obviously is a real important factor of when you're dealing with clients, right? It's something that without it, you're going to find a struggle, but at the same time, this is kind of a separation from what you guys do. And I think a lot of the times that realtors don't focus on credit enough to where you can offer a holistic, approach to your clients, right? So an example, we're eager to show the homes. We're really excited that someone wants to come, and we go through the process, and then you go through all the end and you find out later on that they're not able to get pre-approved, or there's some issues going on there, or they don't have the money to put for their down payment, right? And that's a huge struggle. But you guys were talking about something that actually caught my attention, because now as the market is crazy as apparently it is, right, and it has its shifts and its adjustments that make, as the market goes up and down, just made me think about something. While this is happening, right, so that we can't control it, right, and there's a spot there, we go through these times where it's in our favor, and there's other times it's not. As it's not in your favor now, I just thought about something that we could be doing, right? And what it is I think if we focus on who we're serving, which is, and by the way, I'm not a realtor. I'm bringing myself, and I'm a problem solver, and I think about these things, and this is why, I've gotten good at credit, because I understand kind of the maneuvers and the credit game, essentially, right? So in this spot that you're in now, there's people out there that want to buy homes that can't. And you guys probably know them, have come in contact with them. So now if you think about something, what I'm about to show you here now, while you're going through this transition, you can start lining up your pipeline for people that are ready, that will have money, that can buy homes when they're in position, and you can get them there. Because I think from being on the other side as a realtor, I don't know the game. I bought enough homes to know that you guys are there. When I want something and I kind of paint that dream picture of my home, you're going to take me right to that place. Whether or not I can afford it or not, that's a whole different story, right? So I'm going to go through some things here that the goal is by the time we're done, you'll be able to view through the lens of a buyer that has the ability to have a strong profile that now you can walk into and really show them their dream home and not sell them a dream. Make sense?
Makes sense.
¿Tú puedes decir a Carla que te ponga en el Zoom? Porque tengo el teléfono mío que está...
I mean, just real 30 seconds or less of who I am. So my background is in engineering, right? And I got into this because I had a side hustle, and I've always been an entrepreneur. I bootstrapped my business out of my own pocket, right? And I funded everything out of my own credit card until I had some things happen. Back in the day, if you guys remember those fidget spinners, I was big into those, and I made a good living, and they got stuck at the port because there was lead paint in the ball bearings coming from China, and it completely shut me down. So that was a huge thing that happened, and I don't. And the other part of it is like the banks are not lined up for someone like myself, or that comes in where solopreneurs or not even have a business. They're more aligned for the perfect Cinderella profile, right? And they don't really tell you how to get there or what to do. So I learned that game out of a personal experience. And at the time, I had a 540 score. My wife at the time, we had issues with my daughter having a heart condition, so everything fell on me. So. And I put that I have an 814 credit score, not because I'm cool, not because I want to brag, but because of the transition that I went through personally. I'm able to understand that transition and now what it'll do for you. So I'm going to kind of talk about that. We talked a little bit about this, right? The issue that when you find qualified buyers, or you kind of go through it, right? You know this ordeal, right? They get to the home, they can't afford it, that PMI puts them in a home that they can't afford, and then they're going through can you get a co-signer, can you get can you get a part-time job? We're going through all of these scenarios, right? And it becomes frustrating, right? You guys you spend a lot of time, but then you end up wasting time because, you put the person in the wrong house. Well, I'm going to try to, let's look at it from a different perspective, right? And think about now when we are able to have the qualified buyer with the funds to do it, with the credit to be able to qualify at good rates, remove these obstacles like PMI, remove these things from them that you'll be able to do with a strong profile, right? I mean, you guys, does this make sense? You guys deal with
¿Ustedes
this?
están entendiendo lo que él le está diciendo? Ok. Ok.
Voy a tratar de hablar
¿No
español.
entienden nada? ¿Cero?
Un poquito, pero no entiendo todo, pero igual lo estoy grabando para...
Ok. Él habla español también, so cuando tú puedas, mézclalo un poquito.
Sí, se
Como lo hacen en la carreta. Voy a hablar de crédito y cómo funciona el sistema a ayudar a los compradores a arreglar el crédito. Si no tiene crédito, y vamos a hacer una manera que, voy a explicar una manera que lo pueden ayudar. Hopefully we'll get there. This is what we're talking about. I'm not a slide person, so I'm just going to kind of go through this. This is basically position yourself now and even in the future, how you have people that are home buyers or know that they're in a position. They might not be ready now, but we're going to go through an idea that you're going to open up so we can position them so they can get ready if they're not there yet. And bad credit is part of it, right? You guys know you're motivated buyers that are ready to buy. They have credit challenges. Ones that are self-employed, they can't provide income, right? First-time buyers is always the biggest challenge. They've been renting forever, and all of a sudden someone tells you should be buying a home, and you can put 1% down. They get excited, and they're calling you, and we all know that whole process, right? And then the PMI, which is nowadays it's ridiculous, right? Anybody can get into a home, but their PMI is almost as much as a quarter of their mortgage. It makes it really difficult. And then renovations are another one, right? They want to buy these properties that need work, and they get into them, and their dream is to renovate, and then they realize they're so far stretched from that amount of money that distance from them to get there is pretty far. So, in order to kind of understand the process, and I'm bringing this in, and let's not think about a business owner or that part of it, because what happens sometimes we think, we're going to go into some benefits that a business owner has, but keep in mind we're not talking about a business that maybe that they have today. This could be just they opened a business, and a lot of times people use it for tax haven or tax harbor to protect themselves from having to pay a lot of taxes. You don't have to have a business per se as an operation. So we're going to talk about what that does for the buyer and their credit. So